Good evening, everybody. What's up? I hope you guys are all doing very well. It's already January the 7th. It's a Sunday right now, a little past midnight, depending on where you are in the world, which means it's been 7 days or 1 week into the new year already. So only 51 weeks to go until we hit the 2024 year, where I think that'll be the year the bull market is going to be here to stay for a short while. And for now, it's just up to us to endure this bear market winter that I think will unfold for the rest of the 2023 year. So I came on tonight to give you a quick update because for day traders, this is going to be a great possible opportunity coming up. And as we all know, we've been lacking volatility in the market for the past couple of weeks. We've had some major gainers such as Gala today, Near, Sol, ETC, BNX, Ape, DYDX, Kava. So we've had some coins that have had a little run, but nothing like a bull market at all. In a bear market, it's very difficult to long most coins because in a bear market, we're going to see the majority of coins either go down or just go sideways for a while. It's going to be rare for us to see that occasional coin that will spike up 10 to 20%, although it does happen. In a bull market, out of the 147 coins that I follow on Binance, we're going to get over 10 of them that are moving 20% a day. And that's huge because right now we're probably getting an average of 1 to 2 coins that are moving about 10% per day. And out of those 2 coins, the choices are very slim to pick which ones to trade. Whereas in the bull market, we've got so many coins to choose from, so many volatile coins that are moving. And it's like basically walking to a candy store. There's candy everywhere and you can eat whatever you want and it's still going to be really good. And right now we're forced to pretty much eat only one piece of candy, and we may not like it, right? It may not be the best coin to trade, but we're forced to trade it because that's what everyone else is looking at, even though it may not have the best movement and the best criteria to trade these coins. Unfortunately, many people still go after these coins. So right now, there's many reasons that's indicating that 2023 will be an incredibly slow year. And unfortunately, I agree with the majority of all experts out there. I ended up shedding the majority of my huge position over 7 figures in my main portfolio, where I liquidated over 80% of my portfolio. So it's now down to a much smaller percentage, about 20% left right now. And I'm going to wait to see how this year unfolds, especially in Q3 and in Q4 after we see how the government's going to deal with these inflation rate hikes, major recession that's happening everywhere throughout the world, especially the housing crisis as well. So we all know that the markets outside of crypto, they're in shambles right now. They're declining. 2022 year was one of the worst years that we've had in a very long time. Bitcoin was on a steady decline for the whole year of 2022, and it made trading conditions really difficult. I know that some people are probably still holding at a much higher price, and day trading especially was hard because, well, we'd rather long than short. In a bull market, it's just much easier to long because in a long position, you can gain much more than 100%. And as these bull markets move really high to the upside, there's also more margin for error as well. Because when you're trading with a trend, some coins like Axis, for example, last year, they moved over 1,000%. Whereas in a bear market, a coin, it has to drop to 0 for it to only go 100%. So if you ask anybody, they would 100% rather trade in a bull market. The chances of you profiting and doing well in a bull market is much higher than fighting the grind in the bear market. So right now, we've got some major obstacles to face, and I'm going to talk to you about some of the indicators that's showing very clearly that, hey, there's probably not going to be an uptrend for a while for these technical reasons. We'll leave out the fundamental reasons, but I'm also going to show you a short-term opportunity that's coming up probably in a few weeks, I'm hoping, and then there's going to provide an opportunity to long if you choose to do so. Not financial advice, but just my prediction. We'll most likely get to this price range, and then once we get to this price range, there's most likely to be major capitulation that'll occur. And the reason for my prediction of this is because every time we hit this spot before, we ended up capitulating pretty hard. So stick around and let's get right into the technical analysis, and don't go anywhere. Otherwise, you might miss out on exactly my prediction and what we'll hit. So first of all, let's take a look at Bitcoin and see what has happened in all of 2021. As we can see, in 2021, we saw a major bull market that occurred. In fact, it was the most volatile year that I've ever seen in terms of making major highs and then dropping 56% and then rallying another 145%. 2017 was also incredibly volatile, but it only went upwards. It did a 1,640% gain, but the bull market in 2021, it took a major dip and then it rallied again. So in a way, they were both very, very similar similar in terms of volatility. So you see here on 2021, major bull market that occurs, dips down here to $29,000 regions, and then pretty much ends up creating a double top. So if we take a look at some of the indicators that I personally use here, I use the Chandelier Exit Indicator, RSI, EMA, MACD, Elliott Wave Theories. One key thing that we're going to notice right now is that on the 3-day Chandelier Exit Indicator, what we're seeing is that every time it gets to the 3x multiplier of the Chandelier Exit Indicator, we see a rejection when it gets close to there. Not only that, if we zoom in to a 2-day, the Chandelier Exit Indicator, except for this one small break over here, it consistently goes to the downside. So every time thus far, what we're seeing is a steady decline and a resistance of this ATR. The volatility never actually breaks high enough to break the trend of this bearish reversal that we've seen since the high of November 2021. So because of this, it's very safe to say that when we get to the same price point over here again, just like we did back in November, just like how we ended up hitting it as well in August. When we hit in August, November, and possibly now, we might see another major downtrend. And every time we got close to it, just like over there, here as well, there as well, we ended up seeing a major downtrend. So would it be safe to say that next time we hit around this range, there could be a major capitulation? If you also take a look at the 55 EMA, what you're seeing is that the 55 moving average is also coinciding exactly with this Chandelier Exit Indicator on a 3x multiplier as well. Now, if we take a look at a trend line right now, and you can also see another similarity. This trend line right here, if we take the top of that one to this one, we're now seeing a triple resistance based off of the Chandelier Exit, the moving average 55, and also a trend line. So would it be safe to say that if it gets to around this $18,000 range, there could be a major capitulation? Or is it more likely that we're going to break out and perhaps get all the way up to 21,500? Because if we end up breaking this resistance, now if you take a look right around here, this is a resistance. This zone has much activity from the past over here as well. So if we end up hitting up there, which we might in just a few days, there's not a high chance of us breaking above it, in my opinion. It's more likely that we're going to capitulate, find some major resistance, and simply resist and come back down, where eventually we're going to cause a much lower low. So if you take a look at this squeeze right now, in my opinion and my prediction, we're likely to hit up there and then come right back down, and eventually we'll break back to the downside. So based off of some indicators such as the logarithmic regression band, we tend to hover on the lower side of the band much longer than we are in the middle or the top. And because we haven't been in this band for a long time, it's more likely for us, based off of history, to stay here much longer. And also based off of fair market value, we tend to stay undervalued for a longer period of time than we are right now. Also based off of other indicators such as the drawdown, which refers to when Bitcoin hit its all-time high versus to when it hit the bottom. We've only dropped about 74% down so far based off of the past and other bear markets before in 2014 and 2018. We ended up dropping down about 85% on average, and we're far from that as well. In addition to that, whenever we think that the bear market is finished, we always end up getting one more capitulation at the end as a surprise, which we haven't actually received quite yet. So based off of the Chandelier Exit Indicator, the EMA, and also this trend line, I'm very bearish on the fact that we're likely to hit around $18,000. Could be a little bit higher, could be lower, but around that range. And we're likely to consolidate till the end of February is my prediction. And then we're going to get some lower lows. It's very difficult based off of world macroeconomic factors that we're going to end up rallying and breaking to newer highs. I believe that up until the halving, from now till then, which is 2024 May, there's going to be a slow correction period and a slow consolidation period. Remember that anything that rallies extremely high, it needs a period of rest so the market can recover, figure out its price, and then eventually after the recovery, because the fundamentals for Bitcoin are so strong, it's likely to continue its bullish trend once again. We've been in the bear market for over 400 days now, which marks the longest period that we've ever been in a bear market. And usually after the bear market ends, which I'm not saying it is right now, but when it does end, there's another period of between 300 to 400 days of accumulation. And I don't think we're going to break that cycle anytime soon. Usually there's a good 2 years in between the all-time high and when we reach the bottom to start the bull market again. And right now, we're not even close to there. We're over 300 days away from there. So I believe that in 2023, it's going to be a period of learning. It's going to be a period of fine-tuning your strategies to get ready for the 2024 bull market. And if you're going to be one of those people that starts studying closer to the bull market, or when the bull market is here already, you're probably not going to do well. You're just going to be fresh meat for a lot of the experienced traders that have been studying way before you even got into the books. So right now, use the time wisely to study, to backtest, to see what happened in the past before, so you can try to catch the same patterns that are recurring. So make sure you use the time wisely. You don't have a lot of time. There's only perhaps one last chance for you to do extremely well in the next bull market. Every time we have another bull market, there are diminishing returns. The return on investment becomes much and much less. So just as an example, in 2017, we did a 1,700% ROI. Ever since then, it's always been diminishing and diminishes and diminishes. And that's partially because as we get to a newer high and we drop lower, it's much more difficult to do these types of massive ROIs that we're not going to get again for a long time, until Bitcoin finally figures out its price. So I just wanted to give you guys my quick prediction for what Bitcoin can do. Around $18,300 is a very fair resistance for us to take a look at. And I'm predicting that sometime between February and March, we're most likely going to see a lower low, and everybody needs to prepare for that fact that it's possible. You can't always be a perma bull and believe that this is the bottom. The best traders and investors, they're always going to think a few steps ahead and plan in case this happens. What am I going to do? So what will you do if Bitcoin drops below that $15,500 support? Are you going to dollar cost average more? What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a lot of Bitcoin. I'm going to start accumulating very heavily for the altcoins as well. If one more capitulation does occur, it's going to be a major signal for me to hold long term, because that's exactly what I expect the crypto market to do before we enter any type of accumulation phase. And the bull market could then begin to rally eventually. So thank you very much for joining me this late Saturday, early Sunday morning. I just want to give you guys a quick technical analysis to let you know my thoughts of the market. So this way you could be more prepared. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Please make sure you're hitting that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. And make sure you're also checking out my website, daytradersclub.net. I run a private Discord trading group, and I also have a masterclass trading guide where it's going to equip you with a lot of knowledge that you need to know exactly what's going on with technical indicators and exactly my strategies as well. So thank you very much for joining me tonight. I hope that I've helped you in some way and you've enjoyed the video. Bye now.